Posteriorly, there is a middle cervical ganglia, carotid sheath. Anteriorly, vertebral artery and vessels are here. And before piercing, it gives 4 to 5 branches. These branches are called as glandular branches. These branches enter the face gland, and one thing has to be remembered: recurrent laryngeal nerve branch of the vagus nerve, recurrent laryngeal nerve branch of the vagus nerve. That is the it. It is intimately related to the inferior thyroid artery. While removing the gland, surgeon must know he should not cut the. He should know there is a recurrent laryngeal nerve. He should shave this. Superior thyroid artery ligation must be done nearer to the close to the gland, because the external laryngeal artery has to be shaved, which is little away from the gland. These two things has to be known during the thyroidectomy. During the thyroidectomy, the anastomosis are quite common here. Inferior thyroid artery is a branch of thyrocervical trunk, which is arise from the subclavian trunk. And in the 3% of the people, 3% of the people, one more branch will come here, that's called thyroidema ima, which rise from the brachiocephalic trunk. One more artery will come here. In the 3 to 4%, that's called thyroidema ima. Thyroidema ima is there, and there is a, see here, the two nerves are very much important here. One is the superior laryngeal nerve, gives the branch called as internal laryngeal nerve, and it gives external laryngeal nerve is here, and the recurrent, it goes above recurrent laryngeal. Two nerves are closely related to the gland. This has to be known. Well, now we'll see about the venous drainage. Venous drainage. There is a superior, middle, inferior, superior thyroid vein, middle thyroid vein, inferior thyroid vein. Three veins are here. See here, superior thyroid vein, superior thyroid vein, middle thyroid vein is a small and wide, and inferior thyroid vein. This superior on either side, either side superior thyroid vein. The superior thyroid vein, drain into internal jugular vein, internal jugular vein, internal jugular vein, or common facial vein, common facial vein. Middle will also drain into internal jugular vein. This also drain into internal jugular vein. It is a venous drainage, ultimately drain into internal jugular vein or common facial. Sometimes there may be very important vein, that is the, sometimes there is a important vein. That vein is called as fourth vein of Kocher. Sometimes there is a important vein which arises from the, this vein arises, sometimes there is a important vein that is called as fourth vein of Kocher, which arises from the middle and inferior. Many times, frequently, often there is a one more vein is present. That vein is called as fourth vein. There are three veins: superior thyroid vein, middle thyroid vein, inferior thyroid vein, all drain into internal jugular vein. Superior thyroid vein may drain into common facial vein. All the vein drain into internal jugular vein. Sometimes there is a one more vein will called emerge between the inferior thyroid vein and middle vein. That is called fourth thyroid vein. Fourth thyroid vein is also called as, fourth thyroid vein is also called as Fourth thyroid vein of Kocher. Fourth thyroid vein of Kocher. Fourth thyroid. Fourth thyroid vein of Kocher. Do you know the Kocher? A surgeon born in the Switzerland, Brunei. That's a brainy, born in the Switzerland. Born in the Switzerland in a very orthodox family, religious family. He completed his education, medical education in the England. In the England, this Kocher, and he has done about 200 thyroidectomy, and he is the first person. He is the first person. He is the first person to do the thyroidectomy. First person globally. Do the thyroidectomy. First person. Thyroidectomy for goiter. He is the first person to do the thyroidectomy for the goiter, and he did about 200 thyroidectomy. He has many research papers. He has got many research papers. Kocher has got many research papers regarding the physiology, pathology, surgery of. He has many publications. He has got a lot of work. He dedicated surgeon of the thyroid. Dedicated surgeon for the thyroid gland. Hence, he was awarded a Nobel Prize. Awarded the Nobel Prize. Awarded the Nobel Prize in 1909. 1909. This Kocher was awarded the Nobel Prize due to the thyroid. He did a lot of research on the physiologically, pathologically, and surgically. And there is a book in surgery, Kocher's Physiology, and Kocher's Forceps is also is there. Kocher's Forceps and Kocher's Forceps is also there. You will see when you go to surgery. You will see there is a book of Kocher's surgical books, books of surgery by Kocher's, and he got the Nobel Prize due to his dedicated work. He is dedicated toward the thyroid gland, and the fourth nerve, to pay homage to this person, we called fourth nerve, fourth vein of the Kocher's. Fourth vein of the Kocher's. Apart from that, he has lot of surgical works regarding the dislocation of the shoulder joint. Many things are there. It is the Kocher's. Now we'll see about the structure and functions. Structure and functions. Structure and functions. That is the it has got two types of cells. Follicular cells and para follicular cells. This follicular cells secretes T3 and T4. That is the triiodine and tetraiodine. These are stored in the follicles, glands as a thyroglobulin. These are stored in the follicles as a thyroglobulin. T3 and T4. T3 is the triiodine, tetraiodine or thyroxine. Now parafollicular cell, they secrete C cells. Sea shells are calcitonin shells. Seal cells are calcitonin shell. They are opposite to the parathermone. Sea shells, calcitonin shells. Now we'll see the lymphatic drainage. The lymphatic drainage. It has the lymphatic drainage is here. Upper deep cervical, upper deep cervical, lower deep cervical, lower deep cervical, pretracheal, pretracheal, prelaryngeal, prelaryngeal, upper deep cervical. Here also, upper deep cervical, lower deep cervical. See here, upper prelaryngeal nodes, upper deep cervical nodes on either side, on each lobe, upper deep cervical, lower deep cervical, that is the pretracheal on either side, upper deep cervical on either side. They are the groups of the lymph node. Upper deep cervical, lower deep cervical, prelaryngeal, pretracheal. See here, upper deep cervical, lower deep cervical, prelaryngeal, pretracheal. Four groups are here. They drain into deep cervical. This thing we have to know, the colloids. The colloids of the thyroid drain into veins as well as lymph nodes. The colloid means the substance present in the thyroid. There's the iodine colloid. That colloid will drain into the body through the veins and lymphatics. The colloid will drain into the blood, secrete into the blood. The colloid will secrete into the blood through the veins, through the lymphatics of the thyroid gland. This has to be borne in the mind, but we'll see about the applied aspect. We'll see the applied aspect. Lastly, but not least, the applied anatomy. Applied anatomy. Any enlargement of the thyroid, called as goiter, is called as goiter. Any enlargement is called as goiter. It may be a puberty or colloid goiter. Any enlargement is called as the goiter. That is the hyperthyroidism. That is the hypersecretion. That is the hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism means excess of secretion. That is called hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism, it leads to hyperthyroidism leads to thyrotoxicity, leads to thyrotoxosis, thyrotoxosis, which leads to thyrotoxosis, which leads to tachycardia, increased BMR. Increased BMR means basal metabolic rate. Increased BMR, tachycardia, tremors, exampolus. Exampolus means eyes are protruded. Exampolus means eyes are protruded. Tachycardia, then systolic brute, increased BMR, tachycardia, tremors, BMR, increased BMR, they are the, when there is a hyperthyroidism, more secretion of the thyroid, T3, T4. If there is a more secretion of T3 and T4, it leads to tachycardia. Tachycardia means excess heart rate. Increased BMR, tremors are there. Exampolus means protrusion of eyeball, eye. Then systolic brute is there. It is regarding the hyperthyroidism. Now hypo means less secretion. Secretion is less. That is called hypothyroidism. Less secretion, it leads to cretinism. Cretinism in the children. Cretinism in children. Myxedema in adult. Myxedema in the adult. Cretinism in the infants, in the children. Cretinism means idiotic behavior. Children behave idiotic behavior. Hypothyroidism, children as idiotic behavior. Cretinism. Myxedema, adult. That's called the adult has got the myxedema. The adult will be very slow. Overweight gaining. Myxedema is the adult. Hypothyroidism. The secretion is less. Myxedema in the adult. Now what happens if the tumors, benign tumors, you know the benign means there are two types of tumors. Benign tumor, malignant tumor. Benign tumors are those which does not endanger the life. Benign tumor. If the benign tumor is there, see, benign tumor will lead to enlargement. Benign tumors will make the thyroid enlargement. It will compress the so many organs related to thyroid. The first is trachea. Trachea is compressed. Esophagus is compressed. Okay. Then recurrent laryngeal. Nerve. Then what remaining? Recurrent laryngeal, sympathetic chain. Sympathetic ganglia or chain. Sympathetic ganglia or sympathetic chain. Carotid sheath. These are the structures which are closely related to the thyroid. When there is an enlargement of the thyroid, it will compress these structures. If the trachea is compressed, it leads to shortness of breathing. Shortness of breathing, that is called as shortness of breathing, dyspnea. That's called as dyspnea. Dyspnea is the shortness of breathing. If the esophagus is compressed, that's called dysphagia. Dysphagia. Dysphagia means difficulty in swallowing. Difficulty in swallowing, dysphagia, esophagus. Then recurrent laryngeal, the hoarseness of voice. Voice will become hoarseness. Hoarseness of voice. If the recurrent laryngeal nerve is compressed, there is a hoarseness of voice. If the sympathetic chain is compressed, it leads to Horner syndrome. Horner's syndrome. If the sympathetic chain is compressed, leads to sympathetic Horner syndrome. Ptosis will occur here. Dryness of that area part. Dryness of that part. That is the Horner syndrome. And the carotid sheath is compressed. There is a posterior displacement. Posterior displacement of the carotid artery. Posterior displacement. I repeat here. Trachea is compressed, dyspnea. Esophagus is compressed, dysphagia. Recurrent laryngeal is compressed, harshness of voice. Sympathetic chain is compressed, leads to Horner syndrome. The carotid sheath is compressed, posterior displacement of carotid artery, common carotid artery and extrajugular vein. These are the. Now we'll see about the swelling. Swelling will also what happened, there is a when there is an enlargement, it will move with the swallowing because it related to the pretracheal fascia. It related to pretracheal fascia. Related to pretracheal fascia. Hence, there is a movement will occur along with the thyroid gland during the deglution. During the deglution, then there is a function of the function of the thyroid. The function of the thyroid can be seen by a nuclear scan, by the nuclear scan of thyroid gland. By the nuclear scan of the thyroid gland, whereas isotopic scanning is done. Where isotopic scanning is done, we will ask the patient to swallow the radioactive substance. Ask the patient to swallow the radioactive. Ask the patient to swallow the radioactive things. Then the radioactive material is asked to patient to swallow. Then we can visualize the thyroid. We can visualize the thyroid gland. We can visualize the thyroid gland. That is the hyper. Hyper means more secreted. Look like the active zone. Active zone, they are the more darker. Active zone more darker. The more secretion is there, more they are called active zone or hyper zone. And there is a less secretion, they are called as the lacunae are there, plain zone, white zones, plain or lacunae are there, plain or lacunae. You can, by this, the darker and whitish plain spot can be seen here, the hyperzones and the hypozones. If there is a more secretions, the hyperzones, less secretions is the fighter zones can be seen. Hence that's called isotopic scanning. That's called nuclear scan of thyroid. We can study the functions of the thyroid gland can be studied. It is called a nuclear scan of thyroid. It is regarding the thyroid gland. You can see here the nerves of you can see here the two nerves are related here, recurrent laryngeal nerve and the external laryngeal nerve. They are surgical importance also, isn't it? Now there is a during the thyroidectomy, these things has to be taken, that these two nerves has to be brought in the mind, and the location we have seen. Then we have seen the two nerve supply, two blood supply, superior thyroid artery, branch of the external carotid artery, inferior thyroid artery from the thyrocervical trunk, from the subclavian artery. Then we see the functions, we have seen the blood supply, we have seen the venous drainage, we have seen the fourth vein of Kocher, lymphatic drainage we have seen. There may be full question, long question in the examination. Please take care, be in the house. Any doubts are there, any difficulties are there, don't hesitate to call me, do message me. Take care, bye.